The Empire labeled humans harmless. Until our first fleet entered their skies, Admiral Zix Thara had seen the intelligence reports dozens of times, each reading identical to the last. The species designation human appeared in the Galactic Empire's databases with a threat level of 0.2 out of 10, barely above the domesticated livestock of Centauri Prime. The bipedal mammals from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star had been observed for 3 cycles, their primitive radio signals intercepted and analyzed by the Empire's vast surveillance network. Pathetic creatures, Zix Thara had remarked to her subordinates during the initial briefing. They still burn fossil fuels and wage wars with chemical explosives. Their fastest vessels barely escape their own gravity well. The Korthax Empire had ruled the galaxy for millennia, its crystalline ships and plasma weaponry having subjugated thousands of species across hundreds of systems. To them, humanity represented nothing more than another primitive civilization to be catalogued, ignored, or perhaps eventually enslaved when their world's resources became necessary. That assessment proved catastrophically wrong. The first indication came from a deep space monitoring station in the Kepler sector. Sensor operator Velnox stared at his display in confusion, tentacles writhing nervously around his console controls. "Commander," he called across the bridge of the monitoring station, "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from the human home system." Commander Thekler approached with typical Korthax arrogance. "Unusual how? Did they finally discover antimatter?" "No, sir, it's different. The energy patterns don't match any known propulsion system in our databases." Within hours, the readings became impossible to ignore. Massive energy spikes erupted across Earth's solar system, accompanied by gravitational distortions that shouldn't have been possible with human technology. The Empire's scientists scrambled to understand what they were observing. Then the first ship emerged. It materialized near Pluto's orbit in a flash of silver light that temporarily blinded every sensor array pointed in its direction. When the brilliance faded, a vessel unlike anything in Imperial records hung motionless in space. It wasn't the crude metal construction they expected from humans, but something that seemed to bend light around its hull, creating an almost ethereal appearance. "Impossible," breathed Admiral Zix Thara as she studied the holographic projection in her flagship's command center. "How did they develop faster than light travel? Our projections indicated they were centuries away from such capabilities." Her question was answered when more ships began appearing. Not dozens, but hundreds, then thousands. Each vessel displayed technology that shouldn't have existed, incorporating physics that the Empire's greatest minds couldn't comprehend. The truth became clear when the human fleet's commander opened communications. Captain Sarah Chen appeared on screens across the Imperial fleet, her calm expression betraying nothing of the revolutionary technology surrounding her. "This is Captain Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet," she announced in perfect galactic standard. Though her species had supposedly never encountered alien languages, "We've been aware of your surveillance for quite some time." Admiral Zix Thara felt her crystalline skin pale. "How is this possible? Our intelligence indicated your species was primitive." Chen smiled, an expression that somehow managed to be both gentle and terrifying. "You observed what we wanted you to observe. Humanity learned long ago that the greatest advantage comes from being underestimated." The revelation hit the Imperial fleet like a plasma storm. For 3 years, humans had deliberately broadcast false signals, staged primitive conflicts, and hidden their true capabilities behind an elaborate deception. While the Empire watched what they believed to be a developing civilization, humanity had been preparing for first contact. "You see," Chen continued, "we intercepted your surveillance drones within months of their arrival. Once we understood we weren't alone in the galaxy, we made a choice. We could reveal ourselves immediately and risk subjugation by a superior force, or we could learn everything about you while you learned nothing true about us." The human ships began moving into formation, their movements coordinated with a precision that spoke of advanced artificial intelligence and unified command structures. Energy readings spiked as weapon systems came online, weapons that registered power levels comparable to Imperial dreadnoughts. We studied your technology through your own monitoring equipment, Chen explained, as her fleet took strategic positions around the Imperial forces. We learned your languages, your military tactics, your weaknesses. We know about the 17 rebellions you've suppressed in the last century, the 3 civil wars that nearly destroyed your civilization, and the corruption that plagues your command structure. Admiral Zixthera realized her fleet was surrounded, outmaneuvered by a species they had classified as harmless. The humans had turned the Empire's own arrogance against them, using their dismissive attitude as perfect camouflage. "What do you want?" Zixthara demanded, her voice carrying none of its usual authority. "Peace," Chen replied simply, "but on our terms. The age of the Korthax Empire expanding unchallenged ends today. Humanity will not be catalogued, conquered, or ignored. We're here to ensure the galaxy learns a new way of coexistence." The Admiral looked at her tactical displays showing the overwhelming human presence. Ships continued materializing from what appeared to be some form of instantaneous travel network. Each vessel represented technology decades or perhaps centuries beyond Imperial capabilities. "How many ships do you have?" she asked, knowing the answer would determine the fate of her empire. Chen's smile widened. "Admiral, you made the same mistake every great empire makes. You assumed that primitive appearance meant primitive capability. You never considered that a species intelligent enough to develop civilization might be intelligent enough to hide it." As if summoned by her words, the space around Earth's solar system lit up with the arrival of the main human fleet. Thousands upon thousands of vessels emerged from whatever dimensional gateway they'd mastered, each one a testament to humanity's hidden centuries of technological advancement. The Empire had labeled humans harmless, a designation that would go down in galactic history as the greatest intelligence failure ever recorded. In trying to remain unnoticed, humanity had achieved something no species had managed in millennia: complete tactical surprise against the galaxy's dominant power. The age of human expansion was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same.